Do you take Mom to be your ex-wife? To not have and to never hold, till death do you part?
Can we negotiate the never hold part?
Welcome back to DBL. They say good things come in twos, and that's especially true for our next guests, a dad and daughter duo who went from estranged family to sitcom co-stars. You know him best for his stand-up and self-titled sitcom, George Lopez, and she is the co-creator, producer, and star of Lopez versus Lopez. Please welcome George and Mayan Lopez. Yes.
So, you know, a lot of families have dysfunction in common. So, George, how would you rank your family on a dysfunctional scale?
You know, it's almost like when we try to convert to the metric system like 40 years ago, they haven't even created the scale that they would weigh the dysfunction of my biological family.
They got to get the scale they weigh the whales with.
Yeah. So Lopez versus Lopez is all about an estranged father and daughter reconnecting. So Mayan, how did your own relationship inspire the show?
You know, this whole show started from a TikTok that I made, actually, of me making jokes and trying to relate to people about divorced families, mending relationships. And one of the TikToks that I made went on the For You page of our now showrunner and also co-creator, Debbie Wolf. And she saw something in my father and I's dynamic and me, and here we are at the season finale of Lopez versus Lopez. So it's really crazy to think that, like Mayan and George, I call her Shmayan, I call her Sitcom Mayan, it's just get confusing. But our characters really, from the beginning to now, have really represented the real life of what my dad and I have gone through. Like, that we're able to be as stronger at the end, and now we get to hopefully build on for more and more.
Now, Mayan, you grew up on the set of George Lopez. Do you find a lot of your dad's humor in your own? Like, what do you guys have in common, and what do you see as like a little bit of a difference?
You know, I got very lucky because both of my parents are hysterical. My mom is probably one of the funniest people that I know. She is hilarious. And I think with my dad, I think I definitely inherited the quick things will just come into my head. I think that quickness. And I think when I displayed it even when I was a little kid, and my dad was like, "It's genetic," you know, she's got it, and I think that still carries over to today. I think I see a lot of my comedy style with my dad and being able to take chances, but I also see the influence of my mom, and then what I've discovered within myself.
That's amazing. Well, family dynamics are an interesting thing. What have you both learned about what good parenting is from each other?
For mine, I've learned that she's able to forgive, and when I was growing up, we never forgave, and a grudge like 40 years was just the beginning. Oh, wow. And none of that should be looked at as a badge of honor. So mine's taught me the ability to be able to forgive.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
And I will go to a story of one time my dad did ask me years ago, Mayan, am I a good dad? And I took a second. I had to think about the right response, and I just went, "Better now." And I think that is what I have to say today.
One time out this window, Mayan says, "You know, are you an alcoholic?" And I said, "What did you say? Are you an alcoholic? Hey, listen, if you have a problem with me and my life, why don't you stop taking my money?" And she said, "You look overheated. Let me get you a beer."
Yeah. Oh, God. Thank you, guys. George and Mayan, DBL Nation. Lopez versus Lopez airs Tuesdays on NBC, streaming next day on Peacock. You two are a delight. Thank you
hilarious,
so
guys.
much.
Thank
my
you.
makeup sweating off. I was laughing. That "do
so
you want a
hard.
beer" line was, that's
That was good.
an all-timer.
Get a beer. That's right. We'll be right back.